Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner, and this is a conversation with a Capricorn. Okay, still trying to figure out how to say it. I don't know yet. Okay, but again, conversation with a Capricorn. Okay, if you have not done so, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird, JayBirds. Dun 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 and all that goodness. Okay, do not forget to also like, comment, and share this video. You can also follow me on IG at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, each of these conversations will be again about something within me that may be something within somebody else. So I think I have been talking a while about doing a video about my biological father, okay? The bio man. I think I only have like one photo of us. Okay, so it took me a minute to find. I had to find it on my phone, screenshot it, it was a lot to put to find this picture. So this is my biological father, okay? Again, I do believe this is the only photo that I have of me with him, and that has to be me when I was a whole kid. Okay, that's my whole kid face. I do not talk about him that often because he's not really in my life that much or whatever. But yeah, so y'all see my mother. Okay, y'all see my mother. So this is the blood other half of me. But y'all also know that when I speak about my dad, that's my father, not sperm donor. This is sperm donor, okay? I call him by his first name in real life. I have not called that man dad or father probably since this day. Okay, since this day. No tea, no shade. But I just wanted to kind of bring to light. I was thinking about different things in the world. I was thinking about when Nick Gordon passed. So I'm like, Nick Gordon, who was dating Bobbi Kristina, who also died of some drug stuff. Whitney Houston died of some drug stuff. That was raised by Bobby and Whitney. It's a lot that goes into raising children. Okay, now it made me remember things from when I was younger. Now y'all know, well y'all may not know. My mom and sperm donor were married when they had me and my sister and everything. And she divorced him when he got addicted to drugs, okay? Back in the 80s when crack became a thing, okay? He is currently now, has been sober and clean for a number of years. But for the most part, my childhood, he was not clean and sober. The crack hit the streets hard back then, so he was a casualty of the war of the drugs, okay? And I have little memories, here and there of sperm donor when I was younger. And it reminds me that parents and people who have children should be fully aware of what you're getting yourself into when you have children. My mom met him. He was into sports. He was working, I think, at one of the big three, one of the big three, like either Chrysler or Ford or GM. He had a good paying job, came from a great family. My grandparents on that side were both pastors. So for the most part, it was okay. And then the drugs hit, okay? And things changed. And, he just started making dumb decisions. People are parents, but they sometimes make decisions for themselves, okay? Despite whatever else. Now, lucky for me, after my mom divorced, left him and then eventually divorced him, what I'm saying? In the meantime, in between time, she didn't meet my dad, what I'm saying? My dad, so who we all have seen pictures of, who I've talked about on numerous occasions, who passed away in 2015 from a heart attack out the blue. Still shocking, it'll be 6 years in this February. So, for me, I still had a whole father figure growing up, from the time I was in my mom met my dad when I was in the first grade, and they were together up until the day he died. So they were together for almost 30 years. And, but it reminds me to say, you have to be a parent to your children, because when you aren't, things go awry, okay? Now in life, it took me and sperm donor a minute to get to a point to where we wasn't fussing and arguing. Mainly because, some people who are absentee parents feel like, well, I should still get the same respect from the child because, I'm a parent. I don't believe that. I believe respect is earned. It's not just given. And, even though, I'm saying, you are the sperm donor who created me, I wholeheartedly get that, but you didn't raise me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was around for the first, I was in first grade, when they separated or whatever, and it was because of his antics. I'm saying, and even though now he's clean, he's sober, he's found God, and he is living a somewhat straight life on the straight and narrow path, he doesn't have relationships with his children, for the most part, because just because of mistakes he made in the past. But we got to a point where you realize you can't go back and change the mistakes that someone had, and sometimes when you are the child of that absentee parent, I don't think there's ever anything that he could have said to me to explain away, why he made the decisions he made. But at the same time, he would try to. And when he would try to, that's when we would get into arguments. So, in order for me and him to be we are in a good space now. We're in a good space now. But he's always lived in our same city. He's never moved away or been gone. But, from the time, my mom left him, he just made the decision of, we can't be together, and I'm not gonna deal with nobody. I'm gonna be gone entirely. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that my mom moved on and, found somebody else and got married and whatever. We had a whole family. And at that point in time, it was me, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, and we were one big old happy family. He didn't like that too much. But again, when you are the parent who was absentee, you have to remember your actions is cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? Because you chose to do drugs and get addicted to drugs, you lost your family. You don't have the right to want to, be thought of as, okay, I'm going to always have respect for him. Nah, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And even though I have glimpses of good memories when I was younger, I can remember, what can I remember? I can remember one time, sitting on the porch of my grandparents' house, and he was reading me a bedtime story. Okay, that's one memory in my whole life. I remember elementary school, and now y'all know I played violin in elementary school, and I remember a recital, and he came to the recital, and he had on black leather pants. It was like, but it was, again, this is the 80s. It was the 80s. I guess it was what it was. I was like the third or, well, no, like the fourth grade, I think I was. And he came to the play. But for me, I think the reason I remember that he was there was because my mom and my dad were there. So when Sperm walked in, I'm looking like, oh, well, that's an extra person to be here, whatever. But at least he came in his leather pants. You know what I'm saying? So it was, sprinkles of moments to where he remember he had kids. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he would try to pop around, but at the same time, he just wasn't in the right mindset to be a full-fledged father. Because I think some people, or some men, I'll speak on, because, I had an absentee father. I did not have an absentee mother. My mother has always been, from the time I was born to today. She has never not been there for me, no matter how much I fucked up. She has consistently been, that rock in my corner, as well as my dad, before he passed away. So I had a great upbringing. You know what I'm saying? So it's also good when, if you are the parent and the other parent leaves, don't be scared to, what I'm saying, meet somebody who will be just as good your kids as the person who isn't there for your kids. You know what I'm saying? My father was a great dad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get on my nerve. We would argue or whatever, but he was still a great, he was a great father. But sometimes this doesn't work out. And I'm happy that my mom was able to meet my dad and fall in love with my dad and marry my, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. But the point of the matter is, sometimes, the absentee parent just has a feeling of they're owed something. You know what I'm saying? They're owed respect. You know what I'm saying? That we have to understand. No, I don't. I have done nothing. Not a goddamn thing. But what I will do, or what I eventually got to the point of doing was, I got to the point of stop trying to argue about it. You can't go back and fix it. You weren't there. You can try to move forward, and it also depends on the age that you come back around. I had seen him. Here we went to. I remember he would come around when he had a girlfriend that he wanted to show his daughters off to. You know what I'm saying? Because it was cute kids. You know what I'm saying? So he would, that's when he would pop up. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come get y'all to go to a baseball game. And we go into some girl he dating that's there. Oh, yeah, this my daughter. So he wanted to act like he's the doting dad. You know what I'm saying? And so little moments like that is what helped us realize, oh, we like little, accessories or whatever. So, that didn't help either. So again, if you are an absentee parent, you can't do that because they'll remember that later on in life. And he wasn't just me and my, because I have technically an older brother and I have a younger brother and a younger sister through sperm donor. Now, when y'all hear me talk about my sister and my brother, that's who I was raised with. Okay, so that's different than the other children that he had, with other people or whatnot. But he, really wasn't in any of our lives, and that's why we don't know each other to this day. To this day, you know what I'm saying? But again, now he luckily, you know, completely kicked his drug habit. You know what I'm saying? He had been to prison a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever. These are the funny things that I can remember, and this is why I think I always say when you see parents and they be like, oh, hanging out with their kids and doing dumb things around their kids. Oh, my kid ain't gonna remember that. I remember uh when he was on drugs, he like stole. When he came to the house and took like my sister's Christmas doll, a doll that my mom or him, I don't know who paid for it, but got Veronica a doll for Christmas that she wanted. He came and got it and pawned it for drugs. Okay, I remember him coming and getting it, and it was a whole argument. Like my mom was like, "What are you doing? That's her. What did and that whole thing or whatever." And I remember one time he came to the house late at night, late at night, like dark night. And this is back in the day when you had like floor model TVs, not these nice, you know what I'm saying, flat screen, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean a floor model television, okay? Because again, this is me before middle school. So I had to be like maybe I'll say between 4 and 6. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't remember if I was in school or not. So I was maybe between 5 and 7 years old or whatever. And I remember he came in the house, came upstairs, and he literally was taking the floor model TV from the upstairs bedroom down the stairs of big old floor model television, and he put it in a taxi cab. This is my proof that cocaine and that crack, because this is crack back there. Crack is a hell of a drug, and I believe he probably did cocaine too. I'm not sure. But came in, got the floor model TV, got in a taxi cab, okay, and took it to the pawn. Or he sold it to somebody for drugs, and he would steal stuff from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Just foolishness going on all up and through here, okay. But it's also a thing to where you don't know what your children will remember seeing you do, because one, you're either too high, off your rockers to even pay attention to it, or two, you assume they're so young they'll forget it. And I have these little itty bitty memories, okay, of the black letter pens at my violin recital, that he read me a bedtime story one time, sitting on the front porch, that he came in one night and stole the floor bottom TV and put it in the taxi cab. You know what I'm saying? It's those little things that, you know what I'm saying, I think absentee parents need to realize that will stick with their kid. And, now that he's older, now that he is clean and sober. Um, he has been very apologetic, and he has apologized, immensely about not being there. But for a while, he had this thing to where he felt like he had to explain it, and he had to kind of place blame here, there, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't need all that, bro. That's gonna cause arguments. Point blank, period. Okay, so to anybody who may have an absentee parent who is trying to get back in their good graces, you don't have to shun them, but you also don't have to jump in, all feet first, head first, arms first, or whatever, into being this amazing, child parent relationship. So for me, if he call me, I can talk to him. If I want to call him, I can do that. And God forbid, if he passed away tomorrow, I would not be distraught as if, oh my God, he passed away and there was so much left unsaid. I mean, he knows I love him. He's my birth father. He knows that, but he also understands he didn't raise me. So there is just a level of compassion or a level of emotion that I can't give the relationship because I'm 37 years old. You know what I'm saying? And when he finally started to kind of, come back around, I was in my late 20s. And I'm looking like, nigga, I'm grown. I've been wholeheartedly raised by a whole other individual. And now that you want to kind of, want to come back around because you found God and you want to, make amends for the mistakes of your past, I can, it took us time to get to that point because I had to get to a point to where I wasn't a crazy, upset, angry daughter. Okay. And I had to kind of let that stuff go. And, just explain to him, like, well, you wasn't there, brother. You weren't. So there's just certain things you're going to have to accept that I'm not going to give you. And one of them things is I will not call you father or dad. No, you are first name. I either call him by his first name or I say, hey, you. What's up? How you doing? Oh, hey. And that's really it. But this a video, I've been all over the place. But it just made me realize, just looking at kids who are sometimes raised and they turn out a certain way because the parent was a certain way. And I think for me, I realized, like, okay, birth father was fully on drugs, for a while, was on drugs, had went to prison. I think at one point he had escaped prison. Yeah, he had escaped prison some kind of way and ended up going back. But, he got his life together. Is still with, the same big three company he was. He's been there for years and years or whatever. And, I mean, that is what it is. But my mom, who never did drugs, had a great job, graduated college, and that's hard to think about considering, she had my sister at 17, I believe, and had me at almost 19 or whatever. So to be, 19 years old, married with two children, and to still get your good job and go to college and complete, like, my mom has like whatever the high degree is, that's what my mama has, okay? And, and she did all of that despite having a crack addicted husband in the 80s with two children. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like if some parents, you have to be that super parent. My mom was a super parent. You know what I'm saying? And she never put anything before us. And I can say this, that my mom, when she left him, it wasn't all peaches and rainbows at all. I know she had many nights when she probably, it was going through it or whatever, because we know that happens. And, he was a fool at one point in time. He would just do dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? He would just do dumb stuff because, again, he was an idiot back then. You know what I'm saying? This is back in the late 80s because I was born in 82. So this had to be like between 87 and 89, maybe 90 or whatever. Foolishness was ensuing, okay? And I feel like it wasn't until we moved and my mom dated two people after him. And I seen one other person one time. I seen that one other person one time, and I think he was a cop, if I'm not mistaken. And then we didn't see him anymore. And the next person we seen her with was my dad, and they stayed together forever. Okay, until he passed away. So I feel like she was able to, God had her, okay? Because, it's not easy. And it definitely wasn't easy for a woman in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? A black woman at that. With 2 children, girl, come on now. And, you have to be that super parent. You can't be out here still trying to party and have fun. Your life should really be about your children. Because sometimes, you can have parents who do the right things all the time and their kids can come out fucked up. But you can also have parents who are fuck ups, and that's why their kids fuck up, okay? And it is what it is. And I just sometimes see people like, and it clicked for me with the Bobbi Kristina, and when the Nick Gordon dude passed away yesterday. I was like, look at what he saw. He was around when Whitney was on drugs. He was around when probably when Bobbi was on drugs or whatever. That's what they saw. That was normal to them. So it's like, dang, because they saw that and it was normal. It was normal to them. Look how they kind of both went out. They both went out. Just one, too young, and two with drug issues, because I feel like it was their surrounding. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that people, if you watch this, even though it's a lot going on in this conversation, I still feel like, despite me having a, crack addicted birth father, you wouldn't know about looking at me now. You know what I'm saying? Who would know that? You know what I'm saying? Because look, this was before the crack. Or was it during? After. I don't know. He may have been hiding this picture. I don't know, okay? Because I don't remember this. But I think we was in church. But yeah. So that was my story. I don't know what I'm entitled this either. Probably absentee father. It may be what it's called. But again, if you are an absentee parent, if you know what an absentee parent, if you have a parent who was absent in your life and they're trying to get back in, don't be afraid to allow them to apologize. Don't be afraid to forgive them. And don't be afraid to clear the air. Because the one thing you do not want to happen is you do not want that parent to pass away and there are things left unsaid. And I'm lucky enough that when my dad passed away, there was nothing left unsaid between us. You know what I'm saying? My dad knew I loved him with all my heart, okay? And I knew how proud of me he was. For sperm donor, again, if he passed away, I would be able to deal with that, because I would not feel like I did not allow him to apologize and to clear his conscience, and I know that he know how I felt too, and that's what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. Okay, this is another conversation with a Capricorn. We will see what the next conversation of topic is, because I don't know. Whatever pops in my head is what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I'm done.